We read with astonishment and confusion the recent unemployment figures released by the Department of Statistics on Friday, August 5th, 2011. These figures are F&M voodoo economics at its best. Through the creative use of statistics, one would get the misleading impression that the unemployment situation in the Bahamas has actually improved, with unemployment rates having seemingly fallen from 14.2% a mere 2 years ago to 13.7% today. We believe, however, after a careful review of the numbers that have been issued and used by the Department of Statistics, that the true unemployment figure is at a very bare minimum of 17.6%. For example, the data used on the informal sector, in our opinion, cannot be trusted. Even the ILO warns that data on informal sector employment or informal employment obtained for a short period may not be respective for the whole year. And the estimation of the number of informal sector enterprises is difficult to obtain, if not impossible. See, the informal sector comprises those industries that Bahamians who have been forced to create or accept non-conventional modes of employment because their government has failed to stimulate the creation of sufficient jobs for the workforce.
Integrity of the figures depend on the survey being a random survey and a representative survey. So if you are going to exclude whole portions of the population, then clearly your survey is not a random sample and is not representative of what is going on in the Bahamas. Secondly, the report itself admits that the two reasons that the unemployment rate supposedly dropped was because of the increase in the number of discouraged workers, which are those persons who have given up totally looking for work or who during the time of the survey did not go out during that week looking for a job. They are not counted as unemployment. So the individual who has spent the last 4 years looking for a job and became frustrated and decided on that particular week that they would not go out and look for a job, they are not counted as unemployed. The second contributor to the supposed decrease in the rate of unemployment is the migration of persons to the so-called informal sector. And the report references persons who are selling phone cards and who have decided to sell clothes and other items from their cars and from their homes. These persons are counted as unemployed. So certainly when you're looking at an increase in the informal sector and an increase in the amount of people who have given up looking for work and draw from that unemployment has gone down, clearly we have a problem, and clearly the government does not appreciate or does not want the Bahamian people to appreciate the true extent of the problem. And when you have a survey that clearly you cannot rely on, then it brings into question the government's policy and the government's reaction and the government's response to unemployment. We don't want the government to take the stance that unemployment is going down and so their job is done. We know from our informal surveys and the evidence on the ground that unemployment is indeed up. The misery index is up, and the government needs to formulate policies to create good, sustainable jobs for Bahamians.
Further, the figures do not include the alarming number of discouraged workers in our country. Did you know that if at the time of an interview, a person was not looking for a job 7 days prior, he or she is considered a discouraged worker and therefore not counted in the unemployment statistics? These statistics are also not reflective of the scores of phone card vendors who have recently fallen on hard times because of decisions taken by our new telecommunications company, Cable and Wireless, as well as the thousands more who have joined the unemployment line since this study, inclusive of students who have matriculated with no prospect of employment in the Bahamas. By the admission of a senior official of the Department of Statistics, there are high crime areas due in large part to high unemployment in our country, that they refuse to conduct the unemployment surveys out of fear for the safety of their staff. And I just want to raise one piece of commentary on this, and I want to question whether the Department of Statistics went in or avoided Elizabeth Estates in particular. because based upon my informal surveys, at least a third of the residents of Elizabeth Estates are unemployed. 1/3. And if you look at the younger generation, it's even higher than that in Elizabeth Estates. So taking into account the above and our prior statements, it is obvious that there is no matter of trust with respect to these unemployment figures. As a matter of truth, they are clearly misleading to the Bahamian public. But don't take the PLP's word for it. A presentation that was made to the IMF, organized partly by the IMF in January of this year, analyzing the Caribbean region beyond the global financial crisis that we experienced, estimated the unemployment rate in the Bahamas to be 19% in 2010 and dropping only to 18% in 2011. These are clearly above 13.7% and actually very close in line to our minimum estimates of 17.6%. So while we are grateful and acknowledge the hardworking employees of the Department of Statistics, on behalf of the unemployed in our country, the great Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we ask that our government cook up some jobs and create some opportunities and stop cooking up the numbers. Thank you.
The government played no role in the statistics. So do you still feel that this is political? She's saying this is done independent of any influence from any of the politicians. And any thoughts on that?
Well, certainly, as my colleague said, we respect the professionals in the Department of Statistics, and we appreciate the hard work that they have done. But, you know, even if you read the statement itself, it goes on to explain what the informal sector means, and it reads like a political justification of using the numbers from the informal sector. And so, while we would never condemn the public servants, we know that the government has a certain position that we believe that they would like to see expressed in these surveys. And clearly you would not have a public servant condemning the government that they serve.